Greetings. This is the video for 10C Physics, and it's May 28th. So if you're seeing this, you probably weren't able to be at the live stream. So fast forward till you get past attendance, and then you can watch it. And welcome to those that are just joining me. It's the 28th. So say hello, and I know who I've got here to give some points to and all that good stuff. Welcome on a Thursday, everybody. Isabel is here. Terrific. And I got a bunch of others joining me. Christian is here. Terrific. Great. And a couple others as well. Mike, very good. Welcome, Mike. Right. Once we get a few folks here, we're going to review some things and then talk about our video that we hopefully saw on the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. We'll come back to that in a bit. We've got two ways to look at that video. Amalia is here. Good. Welcome, you four. Let's see if we get a few others here. I had my 7th grade earlier, and I had about 80% of them. So let's see if you guys can beat that. We had a lot of you last time, which was really good. A whole lot of you by the looks of it. That's great. And I got a couple more. Oh, now they're coming in quick. I got Pia, Amalia, Maya, and Kira. So Pia is here. Amalia is here. Kira is here, as is Maya Stahl. Felix is here. And Teo is here. Very good. That's a good start. Very nice. I like it. Got about 10 of you already. That's really good. Tilly is here, and Christina is here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. We'll wait just another minute or two and see if some others show up, but we're looking good. Be ready to do some physics. Lena's here. Good. Welcome, Lena. Lucas is here as well. That is really good. The numbers are piling up. I like it. I like it a lot. Holy smokes. Carla's here and Lucas is here. Lucas K. Welcome to you both. Very good. Wow, that's great. 16 of you. Hot dog. Okay, I'm going to just call out a couple names, and I'll call out the people that are not here, and if you're here, let me know. Okay, so I don't have Henry yet, Henry Bach. I don't have Leah. I don't have Luca. I don't have Kellen or Helen or Chelsea. If you know any of those folks and you want to give them a quick text so they can join us, please do so. Text them real quick. That would be wonderful. Remind them they've got a live stream, and it's now. Okay, I'll leave that up there so we can take hopefully a little more attendance as this goes on. But I want to begin today. And before we do some physics, I want to ask you a couple of questions about how things are going during the Corona crisis. I'm on the ED, the Education Directorate Committee, which helps to run the school. And I'd like some feedback from you. So first off, how in general are you doing with this whole online learning thing? How in general are you doing with online learning? I'll have other more specific questions in a moment. Teo says the grading is really unclear. Felix, I'm not sure I understand your comment, but I see you're here. Needing to adjust to it, that is so true. Manageable for Amalia and maybe some of you. Lots of different platforms are confusing. Yes, and that's a message we've gotten, Maya. So the next ED meeting, my committee meeting, is in June, middle of June. And we know that that platform is a problem, and we're going to try and solve that for the fall, assuming we're still doing some internet teaching in the fall, which I think is likely. Let's see what other comments we've got. Yes, Teo, and they are correct up through 10th grade. Reading some other comments here. Yeah, it's confusing, Kira says, because we've got a lot of different platforms and different teachers doing different things. And if this continues into the fall, we're going to try and streamline that and make it a lot more clear. I hope that's what happens for you. Some teachers give more work than others, all right? Hard to concentrate, especially sometimes at home, especially if you've got other family around. Confusing, but okay. It takes a lot of unnecessary time. I agree, especially just to learn the platforms and this and that. It can be frustrating. Yeah, it's hard to get in a school mindset at home. That is really true. Hard to feel like you're on a daily schedule. Right. Pia comments, you don't get a lot of feedback from turned in assignments. If I haven't already, I'll try and feedback when I do and do your online grading. I can post so that only you see some comments. But they've told us on Google Classroom we can't use the function that shows you your grades. At least that's what I was told. So I'm not doing it because legally, well, I think we're not supposed to. Chelsea is here. Thank you, Chelsea. So I hope for the fall we get some sort of legal ruling as how we can give you guys your grades and tell you how you're doing online without we having to try and see you, and we're not supposed to email you with grades. So part of our challenge. So you think, Maya, you're getting more work than normal? Ooh, yeah, I think that's true. They underestimate, some teachers, what you're going through and how it is to do at home so much of this. Let me ask you another couple questions. I don't want this. We're just going to do this for a few minutes and then we will really get to physics, okay? I don't want this to be just a session about complaining, but I want you to give feedback, not just for me, but for all teachers. And I will try and carry some of your thoughts and your comments to the next ED committee meeting in June. So what criticism or suggestions, especially, do you have for teachers so that we can do a better job online of teaching you? What's not working and what suggestions do you have? I think we're not getting enough work in a few subjects, probably physics. By the way, I don't give you a lot of work because, frankly, I only see you normally 2 hours a week, and I just don't give a lot of homework for 10th grade physics. I hope it's been adequate what I do. Luca's here. Thanks for checking in, Luca. And I'm still reading comments. Yeah, Chelsea says sitting probably at home and writing an essay for 2 hours is not the same as being in class 45 minutes. I couldn't agree more. It's not a substitute for being there with your classmates and with your teacher. I feel the same. When I don't have any live students during a day, it's a strange day, and there's a lot of them. I go in and maybe once or twice a week to teach, but it's not a lot, and I miss it. Good. Other comments? Everyone should use one platform. I'm guessing that's going to happen, Carla, and it probably will be Google Classroom. I hope so, because I find it pretty reasonable to share assignments and ideas with you. She'll watch it later. Thank you, Isabel. Wow. Okay, so you're getting, Christian, various amounts of work from various teachers, and it's not maybe what you would think should be happening for that particular subject. Okay, and I heard that from my other class that Maya, the suggestion that they send out assignments on a specific day. I will bring that to the attention of the administration because, hey, maybe if we all send it out on a Monday and we don't have the deadline to be Tuesday, but maybe the following Monday, then you could spread out when you're working on those assignments. So I will take that suggestion for sure. Let's see what other things are said here. Yeah, exactly, Christina. I don't want you to be at a disadvantage next year. And I think that's true in all your subjects. I mean, I can only work on physics with you, but it's important you're not at a disadvantage for 11th and 12th grade. And Maya says it might be difficult to change. I assume, Maya, you're referring back to the way homework is regulated. Maybe, but we can maybe do our best and change that a little bit. Yeah, Kira, emails are confusing. We've been told not to try and just give assignments on emails. I stopped doing that and early on, and I hope other teachers are not doing that because I don't think it's a very easy way to give information to students. We get too many emails, and you do too. Thanks for that. Right. Now, for to Kira's comment and others, I do feel as a teacher like if I'm giving an assignment and I type it in at night or in the morning, it shouldn't really matter as long as I give you like a week to work on it. I would certainly think it would be inappropriate to put it in on a night and have it due the next day or something silly like that. But I think you should have enough time to work on it. And then it's a little irrelevant whether we actually type it in Sunday evening or Monday morning, for example. But that's my opinion. We'll see what you think. Can I ask you a question? And I'm a little afraid of the answer. I do these live streams with you like about once a week we've done. And I like doing them because I hope that you're getting enough information to prepare you for 11th grade physics, whatever you go into, diploma or hobby. How many of your other teachers are doing live streams like this or Zoom meetings or something? How many are doing some sort of live communication with you? None of them. Well, I am. One other teacher, that's all. Well, I'm glad I'm doing it, but frankly, it's not that hard once I got started. So I hope I can get other teachers to do this. Okay, and sometimes your English teacher, good. Wow. Henry's here. Thanks for checking in, Henry. Thanks. I don't need to know names of those teachers. That's not necessary, but I appreciate you telling me this. And like I said, I will carry this on to the ED committee meeting in June. And how can I say this? I'm not the best with technology. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So I'm hoping we get more of us online, not every day, but maybe once a week per class so we can see you. And I think it's important for me to check in with you. And even though I don't see your faces, I don't think that matters so much. It's nice when I can read your comments and try and answer your questions and respond to you. Less assignments and more online teaching. Thank you. I will carry that with me too to my comments on, it's in the middle of June, our meeting. Okay, one last question. And again, this will be our last general question, and then we will get to physics, I promise you. My last question is, how has this time been challenging for you as a student or as a person? You don't have to share, but if you feel like you can share something, what's been the most difficult aspect for you during this whole online learning process? Thank you, Maya. And so my last question, what's been the most difficulty you've had? Thank you, Kellen. All right, I'll give just another minute. I know some of you may be typing. My question again, what's the most challenging thing you're feeling as part of this whole process? And Christina, yes, I get your idea, a set in schedule for live streams. And I've tried to do that, but then they keep putting me back in school for supervisions and stuff, so I can't keep the same time with you. But if we all do this, maybe the administration can arrange an A-B day, A-B, A-B, A-B thing in the fall. We're kicking around ideas right now. And Isabel writes, trying to teach yourself certain topics. I agree, because we're all at different strengths and weaknesses, and some things are going to be hard to learn on your own, and other things will be easier, and it'll be different for different people. Any other things that you guys have struggled with a bit during this whole process? And similarly, Kira writes different certain things are needed to fill in, and keeping tracking of all the formats is challenging, right? And that's something I think we'll try to alleviate. I hope we can use one format in the fall. Don't just send worksheets. I will pass that along in our committee meeting. And Felix writes, it's difficult without actual interactions. And I think that's really true. It's true for a lot of us. Keeping up with all the work, indeed, and the platforms, right? Hard not to procrastinate. Yep. I've been guilty of that too. I actually do less of it when I'm live, but somehow at home I get distracted. Maybe you have that problem too sometimes. Completing task is not rewarding because the work just keeps coming. Oh, that's really sad, Chelsea. But I understand that. And it is hard for us to give you feedback. I don't know if I said this already. I'm going to try and do that as I grade assignments now. I can give you feedback. I can't give you your grades, but I give you feedback on the Google Classroom assignments that you turn in. Organizing time more difficult because there's no schedule. Christiane, right? Keeping track of all the due dates, right? So that's why I hope we can do a common platform. Wow, you've given me a lot to think about. Thanks for the comments, the suggestions, and all the feedback. And I will mix that up with what I've got from others' classes. And you've had some good suggestions. I'll just read the last couple and then we'll probably head to physics idea. Yeah, the work comes in waves, although sometimes that happens with live teaching too, Isabel. Right? And no feedback is frustrating. I'll share that because that's something I haven't really gotten from other groups. No feedback is frustrating. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Okay. Good. Let's go on to some physics. All right. And I'll read some other comments if they come up. Don't worry. And I'll put my pen aside here and take out some markers. Okay. Okay. Actually, my next question is this, and where did I put this folder? Excuse me a second. It's behind you. I got to go grab it. There. It's the bat sheet, right? So all you bat men and women, here's your chance. Do you have any questions about the bat sheet? I know it's due like next week, but I wanted to ask you now. Are there any you're really stuck on that you'd like to ask about? So if you have your physics stuff with you, and I hope you do, find this sheet with the bat on it. Wait a minute, you don't have a sheet. Okay, that's right. I sent it to you online. I forgot about that. Okay, so with the bat sheet, do you remember if there were any ones that were problematic? You know what? Let me read them and you can answer that, okay? The first one, A, said you're going to calculate the wavelengths of audible sounds. So given that you had the speed and the frequencies for audible sound, were you guys able to do A okay? Were you able to find the wavelengths okay for A, for those that have done this already? Or do you have a question on A? For A, you're going to use that equation, right? The velocity, in this case, the velocity of sound equals the wavelength times the frequency. And frequency, you'll have to do it twice, one with the low frequency and one with the high frequency. Okay? Sounds like yes. Ooh, and I got another person here. Ooh, good thing she said something. So Leia's here. Leia. Okay. Okay, so it sounds like that went okay. A is okay. Let's talk B. Okay, B. B says, and I know a lot of you don't have it because I sent it to you online, it says, calculate the wavelength of echolocation frequencies used by a bat at 20 degrees C. Okay, so we go to 20 degrees C, and we get the velocity. So we have the velocity again. And the bats send out, okay, the bats send out between 15 and 100 kilohertz. So, my friends, you will have to change that to hertz. So if you didn't do that, go back and redo it. So for B, if I have 15 kilohertz, that's going to equal, who can do that real quick? 15 kilohertz will be how many hertz? I'll get to your other comments, I promise. Good, thank you. So it's 15,000. Okay? Then you use the same formula as A. So I'm hoping A and B were pretty okay, but that's how you're going to do them. Let me read Kristen's comment. It's difficult to read the questions. Could you please change Change that. So it came to you sideways. Yes, I can try and change that and send it again. Thank you, Christian. Okay, so I'll keep this out afterwards to resend it to you. My apologies. Let's go to C. A moth hears a bat cry 5 meters away. How long does the echo take to return to the bat from the mouth? Okay, so we got 5 meters away. To moth. Remember, this is sending out an echo to the moth to try and locate the moth. And the question again, how long does it take? So we want time to reach bat. Well, I think we got everything we need. We got the distance, right? We got the velocity, because I assume this is air. Let's assume it's still 20 degrees. So the V is still 344 meters per second. And I want the time. Hey, so this has nothing to do with waves. This is an easy equation from first semester. Hint, it's constant velocity. What's the equation I'll use to find the time? Constant velocity. Can somebody help us out with that so we can give an equation to everybody for C? Constant velocity. Yeah, I know it's been a few months. Good. Pia says velocity equals distance divided by time. She's right. Now, can somebody solve that for the time? Because you're asked for the time. So T would equal what? Yep, good. Yep, Carlos got it as well. So both of you solve it for the time and let me know what you get. So I want the time. I've got V here. That's not a good way to have it. Henry's got it too. The time is D divided by V. Can I give you a quick algebra hint? Hey, this is cool. You can use this the rest of your life. Whenever I have like a letter equal to a fraction, I can switch these two, this one and the one down below in the fraction. Check this out, V and T switch, so now it's T equals D over V. The D just stays the same, but these two can switcheroo algebraically, no problem. Isn't that kind of cool? Okay. Okay, you got the distance, the time. I think you can do C now. Let's talk about D briefly. Okay, D says bats can detect a time difference of 0.1 milliseconds. Gang, we got to change that to seconds. So 0.1 milliseconds. Who can do that? Like a milliliter. Think there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So how can I get this to regular seconds? 0.1 milliseconds. Could somebody try and do that for us? Ooh, Felix is on the draw. Let's see if some others are punching it out too. Well done. I'll put the answer here from Felix, and probably others are getting it as well. So he divided, looks like he divided by 1,000. So did Christian and Chelsea. So 0.1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Is that right? Well, I got a little discrepancy. I got a couple of difference in where the 1 is. So we might got to move it 3 decimal places. 1, 1, 2, 3. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. You got to divide it by 1,000, right? Okay. Let me read the question again. Yeah, I think we all agree now. Bats can detect a time difference of this much, 0.0001 seconds. So explain using your answer to C how it is that bats can easily detect prey. I think once you get your answer to C, D will be pretty easy. Now, E, I'm not going to help you with other than to make you think about it because it's pretty cool. You ready? E. It says, explain why bats cry out in short bursts if they know the insect is closer and longer bursts when the insect is further away. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to act it out for you, right? Okay, I'm the bat. There's the moth. I want to eat the moth. Okay, here we go. And I'm trying to fly towards it. Here we go. Eh, eh, eh. And now I'm getting closer. Eh. Now I bet you can guess. When I'm getting closer, why do I have to send out more pulses? Here I'm far away. Eh, eh. As I get closer, think about you being the predator. Why you got to send out more pulses? Go ahead and write it in your answers to that. And Christian and others, I'll try and resend a nicer version of that. I'll see if I can figure out a way to do that. Okay? Does that help with the bat sheet? All your bat questions, your bat problems, your bat concerns? Am I driving you bats? Probably. Okay, let's move on unless you have other questions or comments about that. Okay, I'm going to change boards. And I see I broke a whiteboard already. Here we go. Okay, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge disaster. How many of you saw the video so far? Just raise your hand. Okay, a few of you, good. If you haven't seen the video, it's only about 5 minutes. I put the link on our Google Classroom chat. So thank you. So it's really worth watching. It's only 5 minutes long, so watch it and see what this is about. It's incredible. Good. So I want to talk to you about why it happened. I'm going to draw a little picture. I'm going to draw a picture of the bridge, and then some of you can start typing. Why do you think this thing collapsed? It was in 1940, 1941, and it's a suspension bridge, so it looked like this. And the bridge is between two towers. Oh, that's a terrible picture. I wish I paid more attention in art class. Okay, and there's the water, okay? So essentially, here's the bridge. This is a tower. Let me tip that so you can see it, so it's not quite so blurry, okay? So if you haven't sketched something maybe like that, and I got one idea already from Christina. Let's see what she wrote. The wind had the same natural frequency as the bridge. Good. Yes, you've jumped to an explanation. That's pretty good. But let's talk about this. Here's a comment from the engineer surveyor at the site, okay? Turns out this bridge was going up and down. If you haven't seen the bridge is doing this first, going up and down like this. but only in the middle. I can hardly do that. My elbows are supposed to be staying the same spot. So the bridge is moving up and down. Okay. Here's the comment from the surveyor. The amplitude of the oscillation did not